Welcome
Hi, welcome, yes.
to the Nerdthusiast Gaming Podcast. New year?
Ooh, new us! Ooh.
That's right. So today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Usually we play a few games from a specific topic, right? We talk about those games for a while and we let you know what our thoughts were on those. Like, usually it's like 3, 4, or 5 games. But we have a headline like, classic sports games, arcade-style racing games. We have a theme. Normally our podcast is going to be all over the place moving forward, but this particular one still has a semi-theme.
Yeah.
And the theme is our best gaming experiences in 2020.
Yeah.
Now, this year has been a phenomenal year in gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Would you not agree?
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's playing games. Everyone bought games. Everyone's tried something new, I think, this year.
Numbers!
We need statistics.
I have numbers to back up your statement.
We don't just say things. We got sources. We
got
facts.
This information from VentureBeat via Jeff
Grubb.
Jeffrey Grubb. 2020 top games. Physical and full game digitals from the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox platforms for publishers in the Digital Leader panel. That was a different word.
That was a lot.
A lot of words. I'll tell you guys when there's no digital sales given. Because that will greatly affect the numbers, right?
That's true.
Nintendo
especially
doesn't talk about digital sales.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why? They just don't want...
We need to call Nintendo.
Yeah, what's that about Nintendo, right?
We'll find out. Number 1. To maybe some surprise, not mine. Actually, I take it back. I am a little surprised by this.
It's the number 1 on...
Call of Duty Cold War.
Oh. Of all of 2020?
All of 2020. I'm not completely surprised by it because this happens every year with Call of Duty. What I am surprised by is I thought Call of Duty Modern Warfare was a much better game and sold better. I don't have the numbers per se for like comparing Modern Warfare's total sales to Call of Duty Cold War's total sales, but I'd imagine that Modern Warfare's was higher than Cold War.
What was Cold War's at?
Number 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Oh.
Number 2.
Right behind it.
Right behind it. But
okay.
Modern Warfare for me was an amazing Call of Duty game. Like, made me love Call of Duty again the same way I did with like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was like the last time I loved a Call of Duty game this
really?
much. Yes. So me seeing Cold War above it hurts me, but I also understand that was like the new thing.
Yeah, this is the new era almost for Call of Duty, right?
I guarantee you if I looked at the NPD numbers for 2019, Modern Warfare would have been the top on that.
Yeah. Because that's what came out.
It being at number 2 this year and number 1 most likely last year.
Yeah.
That means the numbers are probably outpacing it. And I guarantee you when we get, in a year from now, when we get the full numbers from Modern Warfare sales comparing it to Call of Duty Cold War, I bet you Modern Warfare sales are higher than Cold War's.
Most likely. I believe it.
We will see. I'm going to hop into some more statistics with the overs and unders. Ooh. Number 3. Animal Crossing New Horizons with an asterisk.
With an asterisk.
Nintendo does not report digital sales. Would this have been higher? Would this have beaten a Call of Duty game?
Oh.
If Nintendo
reported all that,
digital sales. Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this game came out when? March 20th, 2020. The day the shutdown really kicked off in the United States.
Yeah. Everyone was buying a Switch.
Everyone picked them up.
Yeah. There were probably no physical copies left, and people are going to buy digital.
Physical copies got drained pretty fast. Digital copies were huge. Like, I would love Nintendo to tell me how many digital copies of Animal Crossing was sold.
I have a digital copy, so I'm like, dang, imagine all the people.
I only have a physical copy because, as you guys know, I still work for GameStop at this point in time. And I was able to get one literally right before our store temporarily closed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I have a physical copy of the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have waited. I would have got a digital one.
Exactly, and that's also a factor, the shutdown. Not everyone could go out anymore. That's so true.
So I'd be very interested to see these numbers.
I would love to
Nintendo
know.
reported them. Number 4 was a surprise. I've been working tangentially in the video game industry since I was 17. I'm now very old. I don't.
He's like, wait, should
I don't remember how old I am. That's the problem. I'm so old. I don't remember how old I am.
That shows.
I'm probably like 35 or 36.
Probably
37. So I'm somewhere in that range. 35, 36, 37. Yeah. I'm somewhere in the ballpark. Mm-hmm. I've worked in a video game store for nearly that entirety from 17 to 35.
Wow.
Until, like, with the exception of like 5 years, I would say. There was like 5 years, a 4-year hiatus, and like a 1-year hiatus when I did not work in the video game industry in some form. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Madden sales suck so bad, like, at a store level. And they've increasingly gotten worse. However, Electronic Arts has done number 4. For Madden NFL, has done number 4. That means their digital sales are probably astronomical.
Yeah.
I don't have the digital sales here, but I'd imagine that EA is probably selling a ton of copies of Madden digitally, and I would love to see what the real truth was behind that.
Understandable. Popular football game moment. I get it.
I don't.
You don't?
Madden sales have seemed like they've been down for a while. This wasn't even a good Madden. This got critically, was eh.
Yeah.
Like across
just another
the board.
Year, another one.
Not great. When I feel like in 2019, probably had better reviews. Maybe even 2020. Yeah. And this one just got mediocre reviews, yet it hit at number 4. So
that is wild.
EA's still selling tons of copies of Madden. Number 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Really?
And that game came out in November, I believe.
Yeah.
Which was
pretty late in the year.
Right around the time of Call of Duty, and it hit at number 5, which is kind of impressive. But it's on every console. It's on
PlayStation
PC.
5 too. Everyone was picking that up for that, right?
It's on everything but Switch.
It's good, yeah.
It's not as good as Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm going to leave it there for now. Maybe I'll go back to that in the future for you guys. It's a good Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. But not
Odyssey takes a literal dump all over this game. I've played this game for about almost 15 to 20 hours, I would say.
That's pretty good.
And Odyssey is 10 times the game that this is.
Wow. I haven't had
And I don't think this is bad.
No?
I just think Odyssey was that goddamn good. So... Good if you guys really enjoy Valhalla and you'd never played Odyssey, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
That's the one to play.
The Last of Us Part II.
Wow, I'm amazed this ended up so late on the list, honestly.
Why do you think that is? There's legitimate reasons for this. It's number 6 on the list.
Because only on PlayStation.
That is the correct answer.
Nope.
Didn't come out on anything else. Now, you could say so did Animal Crossing, but I would argue that Animal Crossing hit at the right time, right when a pandemic started.
Time.
You can't go anywhere, but you can meet other people on their islands, you can travel and stuff like that.
Multiplayer, sociable.
Right.
It felt like real life.
Had Last of Us come out on, let's say PlayStation and PC, I think it would probably be at, the number... I think it probably would be, the number 3 or 4 spot, somewhere around there.
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima, we got locked in at number 7.
Very close to Last of Us, which is fair.
I personally can't speak to the game. I just bought this probably within the past 30 days, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Same for you?
Haven't either, yep. Haven't had a chance.
Heard great things, but now...
Exactly, nothing but good things.
We have another Sony exclusive just on the PlayStation. Now we have 2 Nintendo exclusives.
Right.
A game from 2017?
Oh.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was the 8th best-selling game in 2020.
Oh my god, I believe it. Just by, again, the pandemic. 100%. I bet people were like, I need to buy a Switch and I need to get Mario Kart with it. That is everyone's go-to.
I mean, even when people come to me and they talk to me at the store, they're like, oh, what game should I buy? I'm like, what system do you have? Oh, Switch. Do you have Mario Kart?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it goes thumb and thumb instantly.
Yeah, I mean...
You have to.
Mario Kart you can get for families. It's a great family-friendly game. It's a party game. You can play with multiple people. It's good to play by yourself.
Yep.
It checks every single box.
Everything. Anyone can jump into it.
Absolutely.
Fair.
Number 9, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which I made a little segment called Makes Matt Mad about 3D All-Stars.
Triggered.
So you guys can go watch that. Final Fantasy VII Remake Number 10.
Wow, number 10. Wow, I'm honestly very happy for Final Fantasy and make it that far.
I played the demo. I played a demo before the public played the demo, which was essentially the same demo. So I really kind of sort of played the same demo 2 times.
Yeah.
It was a great demo.
I've played it. I didn't finish it either. I got it when it came out. Picked it up on release.
I got the game too.
Played I want to say about 4 hours worth. And it's fun. It's beautiful. The music's great. I loved it. But again, I haven't jumped into it since.
I never got around to playing the full version. Just played the demo again. I have the full version. I need to play it because the demo was seriously great. It was seriously fantastic.
Yeah.
The demo was the best thing in Final Fantasy that I've ever played.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. It made Final Fantasy playable for people who don't like Final Fantasy.
That's me. That is me.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're probably saying to yourself, Matt, why didn't you play it?
Yeah.
This came out shortly after the pandemic. I would say within a month or so. It came out in early April.
Yeah.
And life was still really weird then.
Yep.
And people, keep in mind, Animal Crossing came out.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, I found out today I played 320 hours of Animal Crossing. And that was all within about a 3-month period of time. So when that pandemic hit, it was nothing but Animal Crossing for 3 months.
All these other games coming out. Who?
Yep.
And I want to say that was 80% of people this year.
Oh, man.
There's still people playing. Yeah, Animal Crossing is man, should have got Game of the Year.
Mother of God.
Yeah.
Total video game sales year over year, 27% growth, which is insane in 2020.
Yeah.
Do you know why that's insane?
Why?
This was the last year of a video game cycle. This should be a down year. Oh. If you look at history of new consoles coming out, the last year is usually the worst year of that life cycle of those consoles. Video game sales and software are usually down, and hardware as well. Yet, software was up 27% year over year. Video game hardware was up 35% year over year.
Wow.
And I would say that's probably mostly due to the pandemic. Yes, the new consoles helped in November, but not really.
No.
How many of you got an Xbox or a PS4?
Exactly.
Or a PS5?
It was a PS5, yeah. No one.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's insane. I mean, this was the year everyone was picking it up, right? Everyone got something. My goodness.
Yeah, so firsthand experience for me at the store, I can't keep any systems in stock. We're now in 2021. If I get a PS4, it's sold immediately.
Really?
If I get a regular Switch, I can get Switch Lites and hang on to them for a little while. If I get a regular Switch, it's sold immediately.
Wow.
An Xbox sold immediately. And I'm talking about last generation.
Yeah, I was going to say
I'm
Xbox
not talking
One.
about PS5s and Xbox Series X's. Yes, those sell. Yeah. We don't even really get them at the store. That's how fast they're selling.
Wow.
But the old generations, used, new, it doesn't matter. They sell now. Crazy.
Man, and people are even picking up Wii's again. Dude, that's what blows my mind too. I'm like, wow.
I wish I had more old systems to sell. We stopped taking back 360s, PS3s, and Wii's at GameStop in towards
Oh, really?
when the store started reopening after the pandemic, we started to take back.
No more 360s. Thank God for you guys. That's so gross. The 360s are the worst.
They were the worst because they were the most popular system. First off, just a background for you guys. The most popular system is always coming in the worst shape.
Yes.
PS2s were fucking terrible.
Always.
So many gross PS2s back in the day. Xbox 360s were the most popular console for the majority of that generation. They always come in the worst condition.
Roaches. Bringing roaches and Cheeto fingers triggered.
But those would sell now. So I miss not having those in my store. If I had a Wii, a Wii U, a 360, I could sell them in 2 seconds.
And it's sad, I bet, for the customer's perspective too. They want to find these again, and they don't want to go through third party people or any of that,
Yeah, but traditionally, if a pandemic was removed, those things would not sell.
Not at all.
Those things would be a complete waste of time, which is probably why we're not carrying them anymore.
Yeah. It's
just a waste of people's money and time. It doesn't make any sense. But right now, it would make sense to continue.
Definitely. We're in such an interesting time.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So cool.
2020 was a huge year for games, obviously based off of the stuff we just talked about. Now we're going to talk about some of our bright spots from 2020. What were some of your best gaming experiences from 2020? Jenny, what's your first choice?
Ooh, one of my top games. I wonder if I should start with my favorite all time. No, I'm gonna hold on.
Whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna hold back.
There's very little structure to this show, guys. So we're on the fly. Whatever Jenny wants to do right now.
Well, I guess I started off with 2020 on Project Diva. That was like one of the first games I bought of the new year.
Okay.
I've already played Project Diva before. This Project Diva has been on PS4, PSP, and I believe something else, PS Vita. But they remastered it and they put it on the Switch.
So I'm not that familiar with Project Diva,
which
might shock everybody.
Project Diva's a rhythm game.
Yes,
Japanese rhythm game. Yeah.
I know it's like a fictional person. It's not like a real person. It's like a computer
it's like
that's doing everything.
I would say Miku is like a voice synthesizer come to life.
Okay.
Or a voice program that can sing, and then they painted a beautiful person to go with that voice.
So like Siri, if she could actually understand you and sing well,
if Siri
and
could
like
sing.
have a personality, and like they could create into a digital human being.
If Siri was like Ariana Grande, and she had like her own video games and concerts.
Fair enough.
Yes. So they remade this game on the Switch. I bought it.
Is this the first one in the series?
No, this is a remaster, basically.
Of the first game? Or of a different game?
Of, like, it's not really like a series.
Oh.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like, dang. I would say like a newer version every time. There's newer songs that come out from these artists that get made into, like...
Is there a story?
No story. These are just
songs.
Songs, and you play games to the songs.
Okay.
Rhythm music to the songs, yeah. And they just remastered it, put it on the Switch. It's a little different. They came out with new songs, new DLC that you didn't get on like the past versions.
Are you personally singing to these songs?
No,
or are you pressing
you're just
buttons
pressing
on a controller?
buttons to the song.
Like a standard controller.
So like, say it was Mary Had a Little Lamb, it'd be like, Mary had a little lamb, and you'd have the little things coming in. Oh, snap. The little things coming in.
Okay, so it's just like a timed thing in your...
Yes.
Basically, it's like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, but
yes.
instead of having that actual instrument, you're just using the controller to press the buttons.
Yes.
Got it.
That is Project Diva.
Like
One day you'll play it. You will play it.
I'm not judging those games. Harmonix made like Frequency and like a few other games that Kinetica, I believe. That might not have been Harmonix. Sony owns Kinetica, but I don't know who made it. But there's a bunch of rhythm-based games where you're just pressing the buttons on the controller.
Yeah.
And some of those are really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. I mean, that game, they'll do different ways to how the buttons can come, like arcade style too. You can have different like gaming pads too, like to play. So that's also what was like different for me on the Switch. The controls are different.
So what makes you like Project Diva?
Music, cute girls, and the outfits.
Okay.
It's everything.
Is the music all like, if I were to listen to Project Diva,
my God,
this like Japanese anime style like kind of music, or what is it?
It's Japanese pop, or more like Japanese electronic dance music. I would say that's what it is. Mm-hmm. But there's all different types of forms. Like you can download the Miku program, basically her voice, and make songs with her voice. And these people come together, a whole bunch of producers compose music with Miku's program, and that's who she is.
Bananas.
So basically, Miku is a community project.
And she does,
and she does concerts and everything. So it's so beautiful. It's great.
That's very interesting.
Miku is amazing. Underappreciated. I love her.
That sounds very 2020.
I would die for you, Miku. But Project Diva, so great. Honestly, I didn't get to play it a lot this year. It was a lot harder on the Switch. The buttons are all like, okay, so you're used to on PlayStation, I'm used to triangle, X, square, blah, 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 blah. But then on the Switch, you have the A, B, circle. Wait, is it A, B, X, Y, right?
Yeah, A, B,
yeah,
X,
and
Y.
it's so different.
Is it?
It is to me. Just the different, like, getting your thumbs in the right spot, knowing which remembering now, because you'll see the B come in, you'll see the Y come in, you'll see the A.
Okay.
But it's different from you seeing the X come in or the circle come in. That's just me.
I get it.
But I just didn't get to play it enough, honestly, this year. But a great game. I loved it.
For sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up one that you probably won't bring up.
Oh.
But you have played, so you'll have some input on this.
Okay. Oh, was it Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk. 1 and 2 remake. Oh, Mother of God. Of all holy remakes in this world. There are a few games that speak to me as much as you bringing back music from like the very late 90s, like when I was probably in high school and shit. Like,
oh my God.
Mother of God, Tony Hawk.
But one.
The gameplay was like super solid. Like that was the most impressive thing because Tony Hawk really started to like change. And I'm like, I even liked Tony Hawk's American Skateland or Wasteland. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland is what it was called. It was on 360. And even that point when it was like really changing things, I was like, I'm still behind this shit.
You're still about it.
Yeah.
Committed.
Yeah. And eventually they started putting out shit like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which just like, it totally like wasn't the same. But to bring it back and to like have the old school soundtrack.
Yeah.
Plus bring in some like, some of those same bands or some new bands that like fit in that era, but have the gameplay be like the same. Holy
but
shit.
Better.
Balls.
It's like the same but better, right?
So much better.
Did they change anything? They did make some stuff new or no?
Yeah, there's some different features in it where Tony Hawk, I would say Tony Hawk 1 specifically, they really made an advanced upgrade when Tony Hawk 2 came out. And I'm talking about like the original ones.
Right.
Those features are now in Tony Hawk 1 that weren't originally there. So I would argue that Tony Hawk 1 is way more playable now than if you went back and played it on like PlayStation 1 or Dreamcast or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this was just... Activision did everything right. I forget the company who published the game. Or, I'm sorry, Activision published the game. I forget the developer who made the game. They did a phenomenal job, and Activision needs to hand them the keys to the Tony Hawk license, whoever it was.
Yeah.
And be like, here, go ahead and make a new one. You clearly know what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what's going on.
Just go make a new game.
Yeah, and I think that was super popular this year, too. I wish we had the numbers on that, but I saw a lot of people playing it this year.
I don't have the total numbers, but man, did it hit hard for me.
I think it was just nostalgic for certain people, too, which is even better.
Well, this year was your first time playing Tony
Hawk.
Yes. What, as an outsider, what did you think of the remake?
Oh my God, it was hard.
For sure.
I could see, like, having the patience as a kid doing it. I would probably love it. But... no, oh my God, I could not. I appreciate the music. I appreciate all the real life skateboarders, right? They have actual like skaters in there. I was like, what? That is cool. It's a good
Different
game.
generations of skaters. They have like present day skaters, and they have like the old school guys who are like semi or mostly retired.
The older
but they
guys,
still do some stuff.
And the graphics looked great. I wouldn't say it was easy to jump into. Definitely you need patience to learn it. But I mean, great game. Great game.
For sure. What is your next pick for one of your best gaming experiences in 2020?
Let's go to, I'd say Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know we just talked about it, but I just really want to talk about the music. I think that is what I got most from Final Fantasy VII Remake. The first time I played it, oh my God, the music just set me in. I love when they remake a game and they remake the music. It's like, that's what you need. Nicer orchestra playing it.
That's what I heard from people who really love Final Fantasy VII. Like, I played Final Fantasy VII multiple times. I tried it multiple times. I can't get into like that turn-based combat, which is why this one appealed more to me.
Yeah.
But from the people that I listen to that I trust, they've said that, the remixes they did of like the soundtracks on this are like, they don't even understand how they're better than the originals, but they're supposed to be, next level.
And that's so important. So important.
Oh, for sure. And
then the graphics, obviously, that's like whole new world, whole new ballpark for them. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to play the first. I've never played the first Final Fantasy VII, so this is my first time playing it. But like, if you compare, obviously the differences, it's insane.
Oh, it's night and day. Yeah,
it is insane, and the fact they were able to remake it like that. Oof.
Look, I grew up during the PS1 and N64 era, and as much as people shit on the graphics, I totally understand it does not hold up today.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a soft spot in my heart for that first generation of 3D games where like
clunky,
people were like figuring things out. I still
shapes.
Love it. I won't give a shit.
Yeah, I can't, honestly.
I get that.
I'm guilty of the person that I'm like, I can't focus on these graphics.
But what's funny is if you played an older game before then, from like the 16-bit era, you'd probably like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah.
Because they're not in 3D.
Right.
They're not polygonal. They're not like super like jagged edges all over the place.
Triangle boobs.
Oh man, the triangle boobs.
Yes, the triangle boobs. We're in a new age. Yeah, Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. Yep. But I mean, overall, I wish I got to spend more time on it last year. It definitely deserved the love it got.
How far would you say you made it in the game, if you had to guess the main?
Oh my god. Not very far. I've only played like 4 hours. Yeah, I would say I got past like the intro, and that's about it.
I think it's about a 30-hour game.
Yeah.
If you kind of just go through it and don't do like a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
And it's not even, I think, the full story too, from what I've heard.
No, the remake is just like
parts.
Like, it's gonna be like part 1 of however many they decide.
Yeah, I hope that works out for them too.
I mean, this one sold really well, so they clearly have the incentive to make the franchise continue.
Yeah. That'll be good.
In a big way. Number 2 for me. This is in no specific order, by the way. We're just
kind of going.
We're just picking whatever.
What we liked last year, you know?
This is another game that you and I both played together. I even got to play this with my wife recently, which is awesome. She doesn't branch out a lot. She only plays like Mario games for the most part, like Mario Kart, Super Mario Brothers, like Mario World for Super Nintendo is probably like her favorite game.
Oh, it's a good game.
But she played Streets of Rage 4 with me, and she liked it, but her hand like hurt from like mashing buttons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wasn't used to that.
Yeah,
so I get
much button mashing. Yeah.
But man, Streets of Rage 4 was such a good beat 'em up, and that's something that's like really been like missing. Like they've made beat 'em ups in the past few years, and like they haven't been the same. Streets of Rage 4 was like the first time it's like, holy shit, they can still make great beat 'em ups with a great soundtrack. And I've only gotten like, I haven't beaten Streets of Rage 4 completely, but my god, what a phenomenal great game.
So that is the one we played on Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the art on that one was beautiful too.
Oh, it was a phenomenal game.
The music was still the same as like the original. Yes, we played Streets of Rage 2, and jumping from 2 to 4, it was like, it wasn't night and day, but it was still like, oh wow. I still get the same taste, but better.
Yeah, it was fucking epic.
Yeah, really great game.
Can't go wrong with Streets of Rage. Definitely recommend it. If you guys have Game Pass, I think it's free on Game Pass still, so you should check that out while you have the opportunity.
Good beat 'em up. And then 4 people can play? Even better.
3 or 4. I don't remember.
Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3 or 4 for sure.
Good stuff. Next one.
Jenny.
Yes.
I'm all serious. What is your next pick for our best gaming experiences in 2020?
Yes, sir. Next pick would be Persona 5 Royale. This is probably where I put most of my hours this year. This is like your Animal Crossing.
This is probably where I want to be the most quiet. So
oh my, I'm not going to go too crazy into it. I'm not on this one. I'm all back.
All I'm going to add in is questions because I know very little about the game.
Yeah, well this one's very similar to Persona 5. So if you know anything about any in the Persona series, they're very similar turn-based JRPG style fighting game. Yeah, that's what it is. I would say like light visual novel in there too, because there's a lot of reading. You're interacting with like your friends and your peers, and you're trying to build up social relationships with your classmates and your team members. But then you can also get like a girlfriend, and you can do all that fun stuff.
So you only play that game from the male perspective?
Yeah, so it's like, I would say like Japanese school student stimulator. Like that's what it is. Simulator, not stimulator. Oh my. Oh, wait a second. Whoa.
If you would have kept going, that wouldn't have even like connected the dots in my mind. Like, that would have just been ignored. But
not that,
God. My God.
But yeah, Persona 5 Royal, definitely where I put most of my hours. I don't know. Most of it was actually me watching my boyfriend play, just introducing him to the series, and he really enjoyed it. He's not used to the turn-based either. I would say it's a little more customizable in a way towards most turn-based games.
When you say customizable, do you mean like about the look of the character and like...
No, I would say like in the sense of turn-based. Because I would say you have 4 turns rather than like 1 turn against an enemy. It's a whole thing, but
it sounds like that would be a little bit more strategic.
It is a little more strategic.
Okay.
A little more, I guess more abilities to do. But yeah, it's different from the first one. It's basically like the first Persona 5 if they added a new character and changed the story with that new character in it. If that even makes sense too. It's so complicated.
I mean, it sort of makes sense to me. So I bought Persona 4 Golden on the Vita.
Oh, nice.
So I have a Persona game.
Yes.
I heard that was like the best one.
Persona 4 is great. I love Persona 4.
I just know... I'm very... One day, I will play it. Yes. But turn-based games is like...
It's hard.
It's such a challenge for me, which is why the new Final Fantasy seems so appealing, which is why I bought Final Fantasy as soon as it came out. I didn't wait. I was like, that demo was fucking great. Like, I'm buying the game.
What don't you like about turn-based? Is it like the waiting? Is it the whole like, that's so not realistic, huh?
Yes!
I know, right?
Cool.
I'm the same way about turn-based, I must admit.
Defend.
Yeah, like the...
Let me go grab my phone and send a few tweets real quick.
And like the enemy's gonna be waiting for you to be like, wait.
Right.
Let me figure out what I'm gonna do real quick.
Like, I understand the strategy behind it. Like, I get the appeal of that, but I also just don't like it. It's very hard for me to get over. Whereas, like, a combat game where you're, like, one-on-one, it's, like, not turn-based, where it's, like, an action RPG or something.
Yeah.
I can understand that way more. I can wrap my head around that better.
That's fair.
It's probably me just being like a dumbass, like, I just...
You might just like more fast-paced. I feel like turn-based is so slow.
Oh,
it's like, God. It's not for the right certain people, you know? You can't do it.
I ain't got the patience. I think
exactly, That's what I like about Persona, though. It's a different type of turn-based. I think it's faster. It's still slow, but there is still some speed to it, and there's great story, which, I mean... That's where I fall in love with Persona alone.
That's what I've heard. I heard the story is like really worth playing, and if you want like a great story, like Persona, like will give that to you.
Yes,
and you'll like fall in love with the characters, and you really care about people.
Yes, amen. That's exactly.
This is the division inside of me where that sounds super appealing to me. But when you're like turn-based, I'm like. I'm probably good on that.
If you like building up like. I would say a certain... You don't even like Pokemon, though. I'm like, wait. I'm going to say, like, your own little, like, Pokemon.
To be fair, I don't not like Pokemon.
Oh.
I have never played a Pokemon game, nor do I have an interest in playing one.
Wait, so you've never played one?
I've never played a Pokemon game. Horror is coming out of her face since you guys were all...
I thought you just didn't like it.
So, Pokemon came out in, I think, the late 90s.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this shit's really popular. Mm-hmm. This looks stupid.
It's like, meh.
I was an older person at that time. Like, not older person. I was like, I was probably at least a teenager. And I was like, I ain't playing no goddamn Pikachu. Like, where's his gun?
I don't want to catch him all. Yeah.
I don't want to catch them all. I want to kill them all.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. Where do I murder? It doesn't make sense.
Right, and that's part of being a teenager. Like, people get past that, like, that very, like, bro-y sort of state.
Yeah.
You know, I got past that, too. But at the time, I was like, I don't want to play no fucking Pikachu.
They're all cute and fighting. I don't want to see that.
Not interested.
Yeah.
Nor do I have any affinity. Like, there's people that are, like, really into Japanese culture.
Yeah.
I was around those people. Like, I was around people who... got import tapes of like Dragon Ball Z. Like those people were around me.
Oh, you're talking about weeaboos.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, weeaboos around you.
I worked with a girl named Jennifer. Shout out to Jennifer, who's probably never going to hear this. In like the 1990s, in like EB Games, because this was before GameStop purchased those.
Oh my god.
She was the assistant manager.
Yeah.
And man, she played some hardcore RPGs.
Yeah.
She knew,
my god.
People will come in there and be like, "Oh, what do you know about blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's an RPG? You need to come when Jen's working." I'm like, she'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll know all about it.
I was like, if you want to know about a shooter, come ask.
Come over here, yeah. Yeah, Persona 5 is one of those games where I would say certain people like it, but you really can bring in new people. Like, my boyfriend has never played, like, any of that, like, turn-based JRPG visual novel games, and he, like, put in hours.
Really?
Hours.
That was my next question was, were you able to turn him on to that?
Yes. Like, that game, to beat it, you have to at least put in 100 hours. And he did it. He beat that game. He beat that game.
Look, 100-hour games for me, especially at this age, are super hard.
Yes.
It doesn't happen all the time. It's happened... Oh, man, I feel like I'm going back on everything I just said.
Like...
Now that I'm thinking about it...
Oh?
2019. Mm-hmm. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I put 120 plus hours into that game.
Oh,
Odyssey is amazing. That game. This is my problem. Like when I find a game that does that to me,
you're gonna put in the hours. Yeah,
I don't give a shit about anything else when I find that game.
Yep.
Animal Crossing in 2020.
That was the one.
Oh boy, did I put some hours into Animal Crossing?
Yeah, see, there's those games that will make you do that, not only because you want to, because kind of you have to as well in a way. It's so worth it.
I feel like it's like contradictory because I'm saying like it's such a rare thing.
Yeah.
But it's happened in the past once in the past 2 years. Each time I found a game where I put 100 plus hours into.
Wow. So it looks like you have one like each year. Maybe you'll have one game that you really put your hours into.
But the conflict is this. I'm not interested in those games. Like I don't want to do that. I'm like, I just want to beat you and move on to the next thing.
That's how my life is right now.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey was so effing good.
You had to.
That I was like, what else do you have to show me?
Oh,
what else? I'm good. What else do you have to show me?
Exactly.
It did not stop getting good.
Right.
Even when I beat the game and there was DLC, to be fair, I never went back and beat the DLC. But that's like one game where I probably would go do that in.
Really? Still, you'd go back to it.
Odyssey is like,
wow.
I love Assassin's Creed. Many of the games. Yeah. There's some good ones, some better ones, some shitty ones, some great ones. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is top tier.
That is the one.
It is Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And if you're wondering like why I love it, go play as Cassandra. Don't play as the dude. The dude's a jackass, first of all. The voice actor is not nearly as good. Oh. No offense. But Cassandra was just like...
She had the better story.
Oh, fuck, dude.
But that matters, too. It's like the character you're playing. It makes it even more, like, enjoyable to play.
This Valhalla with these Vikings, I played as the woman, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try the guy. Played as the guy, I'm like, Can I get Cassandra back?
Yeah.
Can I just go
I need
back
that
to
character
Odyssey?
back. Yeah. Like, those characters are what bring you back to that game. It's true. That's how I'm with Persona. I see cute boys, and I'm like, okay.
It's fucking crazy. I turned our Persona conversation
to
Assassin's
right
Creed.
all the way
I'm so
Assassin's
sorry.
Creed. Disrespect.
Oh my. But I think we said what we needed to.
Oh yeah, Persona. Definitely. Great game. So many hours put into it. Would do again.
I'd be willing to try a Persona game.
Yes.
But I just don't think it can win me over. I think the turn-based combat is the problem.
Yeah. It's not the game for you, probably not.
One day we'll go down this path.
Please, JRPGs, I'm ready.
Once we have the complete like confidence in our ability to record video game footage,
that would be good.
I'll be willing to go down this path with you and try awesome. JRPGs.
Ooh, I'll be building the list on
However,
the side.
Be prepared to be disappointed because my attention span is like that of a cat's.
I believe that.
I see a shiny object and I'm like, what was that? Oh, I gotta wait for combat? No, but what's that?
Oh wait.
I can climb the top of the mountain and see some stuff.
Yup. I'm gonna see this chest over here.
Right, exactly.
What is your next pick of 2020?
My next pick is not a pick at all.
Oh. Wait, what?
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 My biggest disappointment in 2020. That's right. It's time for Makes Matt Mad.
Oh, you're just going to get into it. All right.
Everybody right now is out there. The few listeners we have are thinking I'm about to say Cyberpunk 2077 is my biggest disappointment of the year. Which under normal circumstances may be true.
Valid anger.
But I downloaded the game, did not play it because I heard problems.
Same. I haven't bought it either. I was like, nope, not gonna wait.
I will play this game when I hear fixed.
Me too.
That's when I'll play the game. So that avoided being my biggest disappointment of the year.
You're giving it a chance.
For the long-time listeners who would listen back to, let's say, January of 2020. It probably was published around then. I think we recorded in December. Back when Richard and I did the podcast, we talked about what our biggest games of the upcoming year were.
Oh.
My most anticipated game of 2020 was Doom Eternal.
Oh.
Which immediately became my biggest disappointment of 2020.
Oh, that's even worse when you're hyped for it. Big disappointment. Why?
Briefly, I'm going to talk about Doom 2016. Phenomenal masterpiece of a game that it was. I'm not going to get into all the details about the game. You guys can go listen to my old shit about that. Doom 2016 is Doom relived in the modern day the way Doom should be. Doom Eternal was like, oh, well, we can make there a hub world, which, by the way, didn't work for Wolfenstein. You fuckers. You fucked up Wolfenstein, too. Thanks, Bethesda.
Wow.
Haven't forgotten.
Thanks. You thought.
I don't need a goddamn hub world, first of all.
Wait, what is this hub world?
Did you play Mario Sunshine? A hub world is like...
Is it like the home? Like their safe point, in a way?
There's this area. And you go to this main area.
Yeah.
Where you access different
other
levels
areas
of the game.
Okay, like your world map kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
But instead of there being a map, you're in this
zone.
Area, this area, this
okay.
space that exists.
Okay.
And you go from one area to another.
Okay. It's like your safe point.
Right.
Yeah.
Doom 2016, you beat a level.
Mm-hmm.
A new level starts, there's probably a cutscene, and you go into a new level.
Okay.
You beat a level, new level starts, maybe a cutscene, you go into a new level. I don't want your fucking hub worlds in a goddamn Doom game. I want a goddamn Doom game the way that it used to be. That's what I want out of a Doom game. That's why I love 2016, because it was a Doom game. That was the first problem I had with the game.
Yeah.
We're going to progress into combat. By the way, this game plays great.
Does it?
The gameplay is fucking superior to just about any other shooter you can ever imagine. The quality of the gameplay is absolutely second to none. Why is there a problem with the gameplay in Doom Eternal? I don't need your puzzle mechanics in a motherfucking shooter. I want a shooter, not your goddamn puzzle game. If I want a puzzle game, I will go back and I will play fucking Tetris if I wanted a puzzle game.
What? Okay, wait.
Bitches.
What type of puzzles are we talking about, though?
This is the puzzle to the game.
What?
If you... Pardon me if I get this wrong, because it's been a very long time and I hated the game immediately.
You don't want to think about it too much.
If you, you had to do specific actions to gain specific things. So if you chainsawed an enemy, you would get, let's say, armor. Okay. If you, what's the word? There's a way you can, get close to an enemy and, brutally kill them. When you, you down them, essentially. Yeah. And they become vulnerable. And then you can, brutally kill them.
Right. Like a stun. Okay.
That will give you health.
Okay.
And if you kill them from afar, they just die, and maybe you get some ammo or something like that. Okay. That wasn't the way the first game was. There was just ammo and health and armor throughout the level, and you would just get it as you go. So they were forcing you to play the game strategically.
To do skills and all that, yeah.
I'm killing demons in hell.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Right. I don't want to sit here and think about,
how I'm supposed to kill
I'm gonna
them.
need to get armor, so I'm gonna have to kill him this specific way. Fuck you!
Oh, that
Fuck you!
does suck. That's like controlling what you want to do. That's not right. Yeah.
I had the same problem with old Assassin's Creed games, probably around the time of like maybe Unity, where they would have these things where you could do like forgive me if I'm wrong. I think they were called like perfect assassinations, where they wanted you to kill an enemy,
right,
following a specific set of guidelines. Even then, I was like, "Fuck you!
Yeah,
let me do what I want to do."
I think that's fair if you want to get like trophies and achievements and stuff like that, or like rewards.
That was the case with Assassin's Creed. Like it was just like a bonus if you did it this way.
It should be a bonus.
But the personality that I have is like I want to do it that way, but I also
you kind of just want to go around. Like let me do how I want to play.
Right. So Doom forcing me to like play a game the way that they want me to play a game totally ruined the experience. Yeah,
because then it doesn't feel like you're even playing. No, you're just playing how they want you to play.
I will go back and play Doom 2016. Like in 10 years from now, I will fucking love it. Yeah. But Doom Eternal. The other problem I have is all these critics gave that game praise specifically for that reason.
Oh, really?
And maybe that's a personal opinion. Like maybe people like, oh, this puzzle aspect where you have to do this is amazing. Like it brings it to another level. Fuck you! I'm in hell killing demons. I want to kill this bitch any way I want to, just like I did in Doom 2016.
Yeah.
I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't want to do what you want me to do when you want me to do it. Fuck you! I'll play a different game, and that's exactly what happened.
Good.
But that's the problem.
That's true.
Doom 2016 was so good. My expectations for Eternal were like
all the
so
way
high.
up. And
the disappointment was so low that I can't even describe to you the pain and suffering I had inside
when
Doom Eternal sucked. To me, it sucked.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, though.
I'm sorry, you guys, that had to listen to me scream.
Why? Well, I don't think I would play it now.
I'm glad I got to let that out, though. It feels really good to let that out. Like, I feel like an abused spouse who's like talking to a counselor for the first time. Like, oh my god, you don't even understand what's been happening to me.
Let it all out, Matt. Let it all out.
So, Bethesda, id, please don't do this to the next Doom. Because if I find out you're doing it, I'm not going to buy your game. I'm not going to do it. You wasted my time with Eternal, and I won't let you do it again.
Exactly. Make it an option, you know? Make it possible for everyone to play their own way. That's what a video game is.
I can't say anymore because I'm just going to keep getting angry.
Well, shall we go back to what makes us happy?
Yes, 2020. What a wonderful year for video games.
All right, well.
Jenny, what's your next?
Oh my god, on to things that make me happy. Sackboy! Another, I guess this was like end of the year game for me. This would be one of...
Came out in November.
With the PS5, right? Around the same time.
The launch of PS5.
Launch of PS5, yup. And I didn't get it until a little later. Thank you.
We got you.
Yes, and it's
By the way,
great.
I said this earlier that we would talk about this. We would mention to you guys when we get games for free. Sackboy is a game that both Jenny and I did get for free. So you can take this with a grain of salt if you want to. That's totally fine. But we did not. Neither one of us had paid for this game.
Yes, and honestly, if I would have paid for it. That was one of my games I wanted to get, and it didn't disappoint. Like, if I paid for it, money well spent. Absolutely beautiful. They They integrated a bit of the PS5 controllers feedback and all that, which is even better. So you get the full PS5 experience there. Customization, great. It's very similar to the last ones.
Customization, you're talking about like
with
the outfits and stuff like that?
Yeah, with the outfits in the store.
There's some badass outfits in Sackboy.
That's the best part of Little Big Planet I always enjoyed. And the stickers, but I don't know if I haven't found it out yet or what, but you can't put stickers all over the map, and I'm like, I want to do that again.
I completely ignored the stickers. I have been focusing on like the outfits, so I'm like, I want that fucking
I know.
Well, like, I'm gonna play you. So
I just love making my little Sackboy look like insane.
Have you been playing multiplayer?
Yes.
Or have you been playing mostly single player?
I've been playing mostly multiplayer with me and my boyfriend. We've been like kind of going through the levels. I would say we've gotten pretty far in the story. Story wise though, I don't enjoy, if I'm being honest. I don't know if it's because I'm just older or I'm like low attention span or what, but that story I'm like skip. I love the gameplay.
I'm with you 100%. I've played the game through multiple levels. I couldn't tell you exactly where I am.
Yeah.
I have been playing the game mostly with... Actually, take it back. I played it exclusively with my wife, so I haven't been playing with another person.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal.
So
Story,
great.
like you said, I don't know what's happening.
Nope. If you ask me.
Is it fun to play?
Exactly.
It's so good to play.
They don't even need a story. It's one of those things like... It's almost like Mario, you know, you don't need it.
That's exactly what it's like.
It's so easy for anyone to jump in. I bet Claudia was able to jump in easy, huh?
She had no problem.
Yeah, no, it's great. Same thing with Gabe. You could just jump in. It's like, I don't know. Oh my God, I love it.
It's so fantastic.
I love it so much.
If you guys have a PS5 and you don't have Sackboy, it's actually on PS4 too.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
If you like platformer games, go get yourself Sackboy. It's fantastic. One of the best games of 2020. Yeah. Very underrated title.
And if you have a PS5, I think that's like the game to get with the PS5. One of the games to get.
I agree with only one game higher than Sackboy in my opinion, which we'll talk about shortly.
Oh.
But before that, I need to go back to something we mentioned earlier.
Oh.
My most played game in 2020 is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh my God. Animal Crossing.
So I found out today, January 20th, 2021, how to look up how many hours you played in the game. Because I work with other people who know that I play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And they told me, oh, you played this many hours on Animal Crossing. I'm like, bullshit. Like, you're out of your mind. I never played that many. I was like, I played like 100 hours at Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Maybe like 120. I looked it up for myself. I played 320 hours of Animal Crossing in a 3-month period.
My God.
Between March 2020 and June or July of 2021. Wow. I put in 320 hours into Animal Crossing. Played it every day, nonstop, for like 3 solid months. And then one day, I didn't play the game. And I never looked back.
You just haven't picked it up since, huh?
Haven't picked it up since.
That's how I feel about these type of games. See, I like Animal Crossing. I just don't like the game.
Wait, what? Jenny, I'm going to need you to explain yourself, because that makes no sense.
I love Animal Crossing. I love what they do. I just personally don't enjoy the game. I love the characters. I love the whole idea of like living this cute little virtual world, fishing, building your house, building your town. I love seeing Isabelle. She's the cutest little thing ever, but I just don't enjoy it personally. I have tried multiple times. I bought it on my DS. I bought New Leaf. I played it for a good like month. And I was like, I'm bored. And then I got the Switch one, thanks to a friend. He was very kind and bought it for me. And I was like, thank you. I'm going to play it for a little bit. And I just never looked back again.
How long is a little bit? Can you give me a guesstimate?
What did I get to? I had my house. Oh my God. I would say at least maybe like 10 hours.
I wish the cameras were on right now. Just to see my face. Like, my expressions right now are like...
And it sucks because I'm
not
even gonna lie. I want to love Animal Crossing. I think it was so beautiful what happened this year with Animal Crossing. Like, everyone was playing it. I wanted to be a part of this. I was like, I want to be on an island and jump on everyone's islands together. And then I played it. And I'm like, I'm just fishing. I'm bored. I know. It's such a sin. I love it. I just don't. It's not for me.
Okay.
Sad.
Let me explain the opposite of why you don't love it and why I love it.
But please, yes, please, honestly, tell me why you love it. I'm curious.
I'm probably half robotic. Like, I might be an alien from another species. I love consistency. I love scheduling things. I love being on time for things. Animal Crossing checks
it does all of that.
Boxes.
Interesting.
You need to be up at a certain time if you want to catch certain fish. You need to be here at other times if you want to catch other fish. You need to be here at certain days to do certain things. Oh boy, is that... Whoo!
I can't deal. I'm like, wow, that's great, but it's not for me.
I will for 3 months. I changed my life. My life didn't become about work or anything else that I was doing. It was like, how can I manipulate my life, my real world life,
to work with Animal Crossing?
To work with what I need to do in Animal Crossing.
No.
And every time it comes out, eventually I reach a wall where I'm like, this is becoming a problem. I need to stop.
Yeah.
And when I recognize that, it's a full cutoff.
Really? Oh, so you stopped yourself.
I do this every Animal Crossing, and I've learned how to do this since the GameCube version.
It just took 300 hours.
It only took 320 hours for me to say,
maybe this is too much.
I've reached a point where I can't continue my life this way. But for those 320 hours,
it was
I
great.
Was like, there's a shitty bunny here during Easter. I need to make sure that I get everything this motherfucker has.
So you even did the events.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't even get that. I'm like, I guess I don't understand the whole, like, doing what I do in a video game.
Jenny, do you know the enjoyment of
I'm
turnip
like,
Sundays?
What?
When?
Like, what? Oh, the thing with the turnips. That's all I know. Why? Okay, so tell me, why do they spike them up so much?
Okay.
Tell me about the turnips.
Turnips are the virtual stock market. Okay?
Virtual stock market.
That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. You buy turnips on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
A lady named Mabel.
That sounds about right. Mabel?
Forgetting names.
Okay.
That lady comes around every Sunday.
Yeah, turnip lady.
In the morning only. Again, scratching the itch of like, I've
got to be up and for the turnips.
Them fucking turnips. You get there on Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. You buy these turnips at whatever price she wants. Mm-hmm. If you know what you're doing, it doesn't fucking matter whatever price she has. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, fine. I fill up my, at this point, my house is massive. Like, I have the biggest house you could possibly have. Oh,
my God.
I fill up my entire bottom floor and half of my top floor with turnips.
Why?
Buy a bunch of turnips. A little thing called turnip.exchange exists on the internet.
Yes, I've seen this.
Oh, yeah. Gold mine.
Yes. What is that?
This is how you break Animal Crossing, by the way. You go to turnip.exchange, you find a lovely person on the internet who's willing to open their island up to you to come and visit, to sell your turnips at a much higher price than you paid for them. You do this week after week, time after time, and eventually you have so many goddamn bells that you break the game, that the game can't do anything to make you stop from doing whatever it is that you want to do. With few exceptions.
But why turnips?
Money.
But
stock market.
Can you not grow these? You can't grow these turnips?
No. You have to buy them. And if you let them expire so the turnips are available Sunday mornings.
Okay. Only Sunday mornings.
Yes.
Okay.
Saturday, your turnips will expire if you don't use them, sell them, whatever.
Oh, that changes it up a bit. Okay.
You have to get rid of them before Saturday. True Animal Crossing, at least New Horizon fans know, the days to sell your turnips, Wednesdays and Thursdays.
What?
I typically have off from work Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Oh my God.
I was bringing in that bank every week.
You woke up like, all right, time to sell some turnips on Animal Crossing.
At first, it took me a while because I didn't know what I was doing. It would take me like maybe an hour to sell my turnips. But when I got really good, 15 minutes, I would turn those turnips around. I'd make a fucking million bells every week.
Oh my God.
So once you end up with millions and millions of bells in your account, you're like, well, I broke the game, so I don't know what else to do with my time. Except for wait for seasonal events.
Except for that. Oh my God. And go fishing or something, right?
When the new month starts, that's when you hop on the charts and you're like, what new fish came in that I don't have?
And then there's new fish.
And then you focus on those new fish. Within a day or two, you got all the fish and you're done.
Oh my God.
You can literally break it. And my roboticism inside of me, my mechanical me, does it so efficiently that when a new month starts, within 3 days, I've done everything I need to do.
You already know.
And I'm waiting for the next event. And that's what happened come like July, let's say.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and eventually you're just
what
tired,
am I supposed to do for the next 3 weeks?
Exactly,
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play the game. The first day I stopped playing was like, I got other things to do.
Oh. And then you never looked back.
Never looked back.
Sad. Oh, is all your like village people gonna be sad or whatever?
Oh
or,
yeah, there's probably weeds
people?
everywhere. People probably like
yeah, they probably moved away, right?
Yeah, you know?
I think that's what's great about Animal Crossing too, is you get that like they'll be like, "Where have you been? I'm gonna move." Oh my god, yeah.
But I love me some Animal Crossing.
See, I can appreciate that. I think that's so great for people to have like this second little like almost world to take care of and be a part of and escape reality, and that's what the world needed this year. Definitely.
It is, but I don't play the game that way.
Oh, you're not here for that.
I play the game in a manner of like a business person.
Oh my god. Where are the turnips?
I destroy the land to get as much fruit as possible out of it. Like, snap. I have way too many trees. I have like all this sort of shit. Like,
oh my god.
I force the game to give me what I want so I can control everything.
Wow. See what I mean? It's living a second life. That's probably what you would do.
My personal life, I would never do that.
No,
I would never like overplant trees to
Oh.
like gain money. Even though that seems like that's probably a win-win. I might do that.
You're like, wait.
But the way I play that game is just totally like economically based. It's like, how can I gain the most?
Right,
and I'm
get the
gonna
money.
manipulate this game to do what I need to do.
That's such a great game. Stocks in it too. My god.
It's crazy.
Wow.
But as a child, you would never know.
I was gonna say these kids. There's no way these kids are playing it like that.
No, nobody's. I'm the only psychopath that's playing
probably.
the game like.
Y'all want to buy some turnips?
Yo, I got you covered, man. What you need? You need that crown? That $1 million crown? I got 2 of them. How much you want my other one for? But Jenny, what is your next pick for your best gaming experience in 2020?
I think I'm gonna jump into Astro's Playroom. Again, this is like a beautiful game that got, not enough love because obviously not everyone had it on the PS5, I guess. You could only get it on PS5, right?
Yes.
You
have to
own a PS5.
And it comes free with your PS5.
So great. Well, it was just, I would say nostalgic, that game. That's what made me enjoy it. You go through it, you get to see all the PS1 stuff, PS2 stuff. The gameplay was great, the graphics were great, the experience on the controller was great. Oh my god, unbelievable game.
I agree with you with the nostalgia. I have nostalgia for PS1 and PS2 and the old PlayStation. But our age differences is really what's going to change things.
True.
My great nostalgia is for the NES. I was a young child when the NES came up. My first memories outside of family and maybe learning to read and things like that.
Yeah.
The NES was right up there with that shit.
Really? Oh.
So that is my peak nostalgia is NES.
Yeah. Oh my god.
PS2 for you is
baby,
probably yours.
My baby,
See, this is the difference between you and I. But I still have nostalgia for PS1 and PS2. But not being that young changes it dramatically for me. Where I'm oh man, PS2 is fucking great.
Right.
Where I'm NES. That same way that motion that you just made, you're oh my god,
that's you.
That's the NES.
Yeah, that's your NES. Oh, but Astro's Playroom had all of it though. Did you get nostalgia from it, or would you say? I'm
gonna say this. This is speaking to the testament of Astro's Playroom. I've always loved PlayStation. I've had a PS1, a PS2, PS3, PS4. I've always owned a PlayStation console. Maybe not the day one release, but I've always bought them.
You had it
while they were still relevant.
Right.
I never in my life thought I would be really nostalgic for PlayStation, and this game completely changed my mind about it.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I was oh my god, PS1.
Right.
Especially PS1. PS1 in particular was oh my god. And then PS2 was PS2 is still my favorite PlayStation console.
Me too.
So I was oh my god, there's the iToy and just random shit you would do. Who the fuck cares about iToy? I do.
I did. Oh my god. And the controller, again, the experience with it, I think was it just felt right in the moment when the PlayStation 5 came out. Like, you can only get that experience when you're first trying out your PlayStation and you play that game. That's like, like, I'm playing this. This is happening.
Answer my question here. Would it have been weird to wait 1 year and then to go back and play Astro's Playroom?
Oh my God.
Would that have been awkward for you?
It would have been so different.
Right.
It wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same experience. It would have been the same feeling. Like, that is the game that needs to be, like, played once you take the PlayStation out of the box. Like, that is the intro to PlayStation 5.
You guys have to play.
Yes.
I know it's free. I know it sounds stupid. Mm-hmm. You have got to play Astro the second you open up your... Don't worry about whatever games you bought. Play Astro first.
Absolutely.
And then move on.
That is like the future of gaming there. It's just the new age of what video games can become, too, is what they show.
It's the new age of PlayStation.
Yes.
If they can focus on that controller, unlike they did with previous, like, gimmicks, I would say, like the gimmick of the touchpad on the PS4 and the PS5 controller, who the fuck cares? But the rumble functionality that's in that controller.
The feelings, the vibrations, the movement.
The adaptive triggers.
Yes, the adaptive triggers. Oh.
If you guys can focus on that thing, you'll have something special. Yes. You need to keep doing that.
And with every game they can add something. It would be great.
Fucking A.
Yes.
Love me some Astro.
Woo. Next pick.
This... We'll get into a second. We'll talk about our games of the year in a second. This is up there. Ori and the Will of the Wisps for the Xbox One, and now the Nintendo Switch. There are few games that have, I would say, like, exponential, like, perfect precision controls. Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
You cannot get more accurate controls to preciseness than this. I mean, they draw the line in the sand where it's like, you can do this, but if you fuck up,
by the
just
littlest bit,
the smallest amount, fuck you.
Wow.
You're done. But you can do it.
Yeah.
So every time you die, every time you fuck up, you feel it inside of you, where you're like, this was your fault. This was not the game's intention. This you messed up by a fraction of an inch.
Yeah.
That is Ori in a nutshell.
Oh my!
And when you die, you feel it so deep down.
Like, you did this.
Oh, man.
I did this.
I let him down. Failed.
Yeah.
I can't
You
fail
can't
again.
blame anyone. You can't say lag.
That's what keeps you going in an Ori game.
That's a good game right there then.
And the story is just so... It's, you know, Ori and the Blind Forest, I still think was a better story. Because I think this kind of takes the first story and, like...
I didn't get to play the first one.
Oh, God.
Does it match the second one? Like, do you have to play the first one to play the second one?
I wouldn't say that you have to, but you should. You most certainly should. I think the first one, story-wise, is a better game because the second one kind of takes that story and, like, replicates that in a way. Even though I think the second one probably controls, for the most part, better.
Right.
You should play them both, and you should play them both back-to-back.
Oh.
Everything will be better for you in that sense.
Yeah, connected. Ooh.
But I mean, to me, gameplay is king. Story is super, super important. But if you have a great story and terrible gameplay, it's no good. I don't give a shit about your game. Why not watch a fucking movie?
Exactly. Right? That is so important with most games nowadays too. They have this beautiful story, beautiful graphics, but their gameplay is crap.
Gameplay will not get better than Ori. Either one of them. It does not. There's no game I can point to that is like, this needs to such precise precision from you. It demands it. It doesn't even ask you for it. It's not like, can you be good enough? It's like, you're either good enough or you're not. You're gonna try again, or you're not gonna try again. And once you get past that hurdle,
it's weird. That relief.
This is the biggest difference for me between 1 and 2. There's a water level in number 1.
Oh.
I can't tell you how many times I played that water level.
Oh no!
When I finally beat it, I beat that water level. I felt like a goddamn god. because I must have tried it like 50 to 100 times. Like,
snap.
I don't know how many times I played that fucking water level.
Wow.
I got it frustrated during Ori and the Will of the Wisps, but not like that.
What, without spoiling, like, is it just like the techniques you have to do or the skills you have to do, or
I feel like
you have to jump a certain way?
techniques are still precision based. Like you have to be on point with everything. But in that particular water level, it was like
it had to be to
when
a
you
T.
could have like 0.5 like separation of like you can fuck up 0.5%.
Yeah.
This was like you cannot fuck up anything. You need to have a perfect run if you want to beat this level.
I hate that. I
do too. But the day that I beat that, the night that I beat that,
it was like
it's like embedded in my brain for like ever.
That's beautiful though. That's beautiful. That's what a game should do. Like, you know, you'll never forget that moment.
First off, fuck that water level. First off, fuck you guys.
Never again.
But second off, thank you.
Yeah, for that relief, that reward.
I'm imagining, like, I don't play Dark Souls games or Demon Souls games.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that's the same level, like, of frustration those players have, where they're like, oh my god, and they finally beat something, and they're like, this like,
oh my god, oh.
This fucking joy erupts in their brain when it happens. And, like, that was the closest I will ever have to understanding that is beating that water level in the first Ori, and, like, being like, holy shit.
Ugh. But is it rage quit level, like... No.
It will bring you, like, here's the line. It's going to bring you, like, hey, line's right there.
You're going to want to quit,
it's
but
right
you're
there.
not.
Do you want to quit? But you almost beat it last time. You got a little bit further.
Yeah, you can try one more time.
Right. Like, that's how it is.
It doesn't look impossible, but it's
that's the thing about Ori. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Man. If not the game, if I didn't fuck up this one time, it would have been perfect. And I would have been fine.
And only you can think about that.
Yes.
And you can process your problems.
And that's the beauty of Ori. Yeah. It's like, it lets you know that you fucked up.
You're the one. It's not me. It's not someone else. You can only blame yourself.
And not a lot of games do that. There's so many games that are broken to the point where you're like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. This is bullshit. Yeah. Like, I noticed recently, like, my rock band guitars don't function the way that they should. Like, they're a little bit off, and I don't know if that's the settings. Like, I think the guitars are just getting old.
Oh, no.
And I think, like, there's ever so slightly off. Like, just a little bit. When I'm like, fuck you. I know I hit that
I
shit.
hate that. You're like, this isn't me anymore. It's you.
right. But that never
not
with
Ori. Dang. That's a game. That's a good game then.
I gotta get you into that series.
I would like to. One. I mean, from the little bit I played, just from the art, like, that is enough to pull me in. Beautiful game.
I'll get you the first one. You gotta check it out.
I'm ready.
What's your last pick?
Last pick is my personal game of the year. This is like just me. I wouldn't say like, oh my god, I just realized though, I was gonna say personal, but we didn't even put Last of Us on this list. Like, this isn't our bet. Was that not a best for us?
I think we accidentally deleted The Last of Us.
Did we put it on there? I don't think we did.
We'll talk about that next. So let's talk about that really quick for 1 second. Is The Last of Us higher than what you're about to say? Because I haven't said it yet.
They're on two different levels that I can't really like. Personally, again,
Torn.
That game's my personal fave, but Last of Us 2. Just because I'm biased, yeah.
Do you know Dido?
Who?
Dido, D-I-D-O.
No.
You know Eminem?
Yes.
He did a song with Dido. Dido had another song called Torn. It was like her big hit.
What?
This reminds me of Torn. All emotional.
Torn. I'm like ready to search it up. What is this, Matt? What is this?
It's about being torn between like.
That's true.
Like,
I am torn though.
The old people will know exactly what I'm talking about. The young people will think
we're just like, what? I mean, yes, I guess I'm torn. Okay.
Go look up the MTV, if you remember that. The MTV music video of Torn and you will see what I'm talking about.
The MTVs.
Oh my god.
What's an MTV? Imagine.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you... Oh.
No, I remember MTV.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
You're not that young.
Yeah, not that young, but I mean...
But the young kids now probably don't know
They don't know what an MTV is.
They have no fucking clue.
What's an MTV?
It's MTV.
Oh my god. But
Holy
honestly,
shit.
I want to say Last of Us 2 is better than my other pick, though. Last of Us 2 deserves a special spot this year.
We'll talk about that last.
Okay. Last of Us.
Yes. We'll talk about Last of Us last. But what's your pick?
My final pick would be Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, obviously. Just because Kingdom Hearts, obviously, again. It was a rhythm game.
It was a rhythm game.
It was a rhythm game. It was
a
different.
Kingdom Hearts game.
A Kingdom Hearts game, but Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, which is completely different for Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people were very angry. This is like one of those spin-offs, they say, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was there ever a Kingdom Hearts game where they had like a rhythm-based mini game inside of the game?
There was, yes. But not to this, I would say, effect. What they did in this one was different. Is it was like a fighting rhythm game.
What?
Which I honestly really enjoyed. I'm so biased.
So when you
it's so
I'm sorry, this is like
oh
like
my no,
to me.
it's a fighting rhythm game. It has all of the mechanics of a rhythm game, but the creator Tetsuya really wanted to make this like still have Tetsuya Nomura. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he knows what's up. Sorry,
I know some square shit. Battling Wonderworld, what's up? I'm gonna check you out.
But yeah, he wanted to get that Kingdom Hearts aspect to it of fighting, and I think it went well.
I'm sorry, guys, for those of you who know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't. When you say fighting game, your button presses to the music.
Makes an attack.
It makes an attack. Does it make an attack like a turn-based Kingdom Hearts game, or does it make an attack like a real fighting game like Mortal Kombat?
Oh no, just like I would say a Kingdom Hearts attack.
Okay.
Like, I'm beating this to the beat.
Like you got your keyblade out.
Yeah,
like, okay.
yeah. But it was different but good. They have all the music from all the Kingdom Hearts games, mostly like area themes and battle music.
That seems important.
Yeah, and I think that was really great. And they didn't get to a lot of like the Kingdom Hearts 3 music, but they have all the old ones, which I enjoyed.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved it. I love the fact, and then they added like, you know, you're going through the worlds in a different way. As you're playing the rhythm, you see the world from above, and you're flying through the map, and you get to see the map in a different perspective.
Do these games have just straight up Disney music in there, or is it all like Kingdom Hearts music, which is like kind of Disney because it's like
I would
Disney?
say that, like, imagine if, I don't know, Mulan had like an area music, like it's that. You know, like if you were in the world of Mulan, what would the background music be?
Like, can we use like Aladdin or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aladdin. Like if Aladdin
Mulan was like, I think The Rock voice acted Mulan, and I
watched Mulan.
No.
Oh, you haven't watched Mulan?
I haven't watched her. Outside of like I love Pixar.
Yeah.
So outside of Pixar stuff, I haven't watched a real Disney movie since probably like Ratatouille in like the early 2000s.
I've never heard someone say they like Pixar specifically, not Disney. Really, I've never heard someone be like, I like more Pixar.
And this is what I'm gonna say about Pixar. You can say what you want about some of the movies. Toy Story 3
specifically
is fucking amazing. It's a goddamn amazing movie.
I agree. I actually really enjoyed Toy Story 3. Yeah, that's good.
One I liked, it was fine. Two was
okay.
3 was fucking phenomenal film.
3 was good. With the bear, right? With the Lotso or whatever. Yeah. Why specifically 3 though? I'm amazed you watched that one specifically.
First off, I watched all the Toy Stories.
Okay.
I always kind of like, was young enough when Toy Story came out, but I was like, I'm a little old for this. But
yeah, I'll watch it.
I still get it.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 had this is me being like a sick human being.
Yeah.
There was so much depression and like I think that bear like wanted to kill himself and stuff like that. There was so many different themes happening. I was like, oh,
it was a
my
lot.
God.
Yeah.
I completely understand this movie.
I feel this. I relate.
And no, I watched 4. 4 was fine.
4 was okay.
Not 3.
You're right. 4 was okay.
4 was not fucking 3. Then we have The Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2.
Have you played the first one?
I did.
Okay.
I like the first one. I think I like the second one better, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think the perspective of 2 different stories was really nice. Yeah, I like the 2 stories with Abby and Ellie. I don't know if that's spoilers.
I don't think it's spoilers.
No,
I
really
think
spoilers?
if you get into details, it's spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think... I mean, you find out that you're playing up both of these characters pretty early on. True. Like, within the first 3 hours, I would say. You know that you're clearly playing as both characters.
It was different. I didn't think it would work out, but it worked out pretty well, I would say.
Do we want to get into spoilers or no? Don't worry about the audience. They can pick and choose what they listen to.
Yeah, I all I want to say is I really enjoyed Abby and playing Abby.
Okay.
I didn't think I would like Abby. I thought like obviously. I don't think I will get into spoilers. But for obvious reasons, I didn't like Abby. Yeah, you should hate Abby. But I ended up really like honestly falling in love with her and being like, I hope she survives. I care for her. And I don't want anything bad to happen at the end without spoilers.
So I gotta bring it back to something you said a few minutes ago. Why do you like this game better than the first game?
Again, I like the 2 different characters. I enjoy playing Joel.
I'm gonna challenge you for a counterpoint really quick. You played as 2 different characters in the first game.
You're right. Yes, that is true.
Okay.
But 2 different like people against each other was so different rather than 2 people like more helping each other and aligned and like a team. These people were like, it was weird. You're fighting against yourself and it worked out so well. Like,
interesting.
Again, I guess I do want to say spoilers, but there's almost a part in the game where you really are kind of fighting against yourself. I don't know if you remember that part. And it's like so hard to... You're at this point, I feel, in the game where you're just like rooting. You don't know who to root for anymore.
I'm semi-lost, so I'm going to tell you guys right now. If you don't want to know about The Last of Us, skip ahead.
Yes.
Skip ahead like a minute.
Yes.
Go ahead and explain the part, because I don't remember.
The part where you are Abby, but hiding away from Ellie. Did you get to that when you're fighting against Ellie, and she's trying to...
When Abby is hiding from Ellie?
Yes, and you're playing Abby. And Ellie is like chasing you around in like some, I don't think it's a museum, it's something. And you have to hide from Ellie. And she's like, she was freaking horrible. She was horrible to fight against.
Is this when they were behind the stage?
Yes.
And there was like props everywhere?
The stage, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yes. And she just killed what's-his-face, the freaking Asian guy. And I think that was like a point in the game where I was like, I don't know who I want to root for anymore. I don't know who I want to live because... I was angry at Abby. I was angry at Ellie. But then I felt for Abby and I felt for Ellie. And I was like, I don't know who to root for anymore. And I think the fact the game made me feel that way, I was like, whoa.
I agree. Look, the reason The Last of Us 2 is great. Like, there was a bunch of people like with controversy and people like, critically, this game got adored by almost everyone. You know, it was the game of the year at the VGAs. It was game of the year on a lot of places. The reason I think the public backlash was mostly because of Abby.
Right.
You know, because she was like you know, physically a strong woman, which is not something you typically see in games. Like, she was physically more fit than most men are in games.
Freaking tank.
Right? She was huge.
She's so huge.
And I think a lot of dudes had a problem with that. Whatever.
It's a whack.
But if you're just looking at it from a story perspective, there's no reason for you to like Abby. There's none.
Really?
In the beginning.
Oh, in the beginning. Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but later on.
Right, but then they take you and be like, you thought you should hate Abby.
Yes.
For all of these reasons. And then they're like, well, this reason is why you should like Abby.
Yeah.
Because this is what happened to her.
Right.
It makes you see something from a different perspective.
Yeah.
that lesson alone, every American should pay attention to. Because to me, that doesn't just speak, volumes to the game itself. It speaks to the nation in the way that it is right now, when half the nation votes for Donald Trump, who, in my personal opinion, nothing to do with nerd enthusiasts, is a disgusting human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And half the country votes for him.
Right.
But then half the country votes for Joe Biden. Just by a fraction of an inch, he makes it through.
Barely.
Right. To me, that's a very political statement. Like, you can say video games are not political or whatever, right? But this is just showing you a different person's perspective.
Right.
So someone might see, as I see Donald Trump as a disgusting human being,
as
I feel most people, should see.
Right.
They might see a different side of that coin. So he tries to put you into someone else's shoes and makes you think that, like, hey, fuck you and your beliefs. Think about being
what they're going
else.
through.
Exactly.
What made them this way? What brought them here?
Right.
It might be similar to why it brought you here, which is exactly what happened to Ellie. And I was like, oh.
This is the difference between, being a medium of sorts, like whether it's a video game, a book, a movie, whatever, and make you think for yourself, which is more powerful than most things should ever do, is to teach you how to think for yourself. And I don't think another game has ever done that better than The Last of Us 2.
No.
I still like the first one better from like an aspect of a story and things like that, just because I think it's more of like, it's more of what you want. It's true. More of what you expect. It's more of like it made you feel more of like this was the right choice, even though Naughty Dog made the choice for you. You didn't get to make the choice at the end of The Last of Us Part 1. You didn't get to make the choice at the end of The Last of Us Part 2, but it made you respect the other person's decision.
Yeah, and it felt right.
Went through it.
It felt right too at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like, without being political, it was a very political statement of you seeing both sides of the coin and like,
these two different side stories. Right. Yeah.
You should always put yourself in someone else's shoes before you judge them or like assume
and have this hatred.
They're a terrible person.
Right. Yeah. The story alone was so deep. So deep, so different. Was
it your favorite game of the year?
Again, personally, Kingdom Hearts was my game of the year. Like, that's what I would keep playing, like, if I can. That's what I'll go back to. But
if you had a second choice, if Kingdom Hearts did not come out this year,
definitely
was this your second choice?
Yes, Last of Us. It hit all the spots: story, character, gameplay, customization on like your characters, and just I love being able to build all the different like weapons and stuff like that. It hits everything. I think it really hits everything. Not too difficult either for anyone to jump into. I'm not really good at shooters, but it felt like I was able to really play okay. I didn't struggle as much like I do with like Call of Duty or something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it felt right. Hit everything for me.
I'm torn.
With Last of Us and
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Really?
Astro's Playroom is right up there too, though. Those are my top three for sure. The Last of Us Part 2. There's very few stories that are going to be as good as that. Arguably the first Last of Us is probably. I don't know which story. You can flip a coin. One day I'm going to say The Last of Us Part 2 is a better story. One day I'm going to say The Last of Us Part 1 is a better story.
Yeah.
They're the best stories in video games, in my opinion. Gameplay wise, Ori's the best.
Really?
Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I don't care which one you're talking about. The reason Will of the Wisps probably falls away to the wayside is I feel like the story is more similar to the original story than the original story was so fresh and unique that the second story is very similar to the first one. Too similar for me.
Right.
Where The Last of Us, the story was very different. And still very impactful. Right. I would say that the gameplay in Ori is even better in the second one. And the story is even better in the second Last of Us. Right. But for some reason, both games, I think this has to do with a bias.
Like me.
Of it being a new thing.
Yeah. Oh.
The first time I played Ori was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it was...
Gameplay doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
The first time I played Last of Us, holy fucking shit.
Doesn't get better than this. Yeah, exactly. I still think Last of Us just hits it all. I don't know if it's because, like, the graphics of it and, like...
I think I have to give it to The Last of Us Part II.
I honestly think I hate it too, but I'm mad that it gets it.
It doesn't matter.
Because they got everything. I mean,
anybody who listens to us should be playing Kingdom Hearts, yes. Melody of Memory.
Yeah,
they should be playing Ori and the Will Wisps.
Yeah, they should.
Most certainly you should play the goddamn Last of Us Part II.
Right.
Now, we had new consoles released this year. Mm-hmm. This is a very quick question. If you want to get in depth, you can. It's up to you. Mm-hmm. What was your favorite console of 2020 since we have now the Nintendo Switch, obviously.
Right, we have the Switch.
Nintendo Switch Lite. Mm-hmm. Xbox One. Xbox Series X. Mm-hmm. Series S. PlayStation 4. PlayStation 5. What was the best of the best in 2020 for you?
As much as I want to say the PS5... It's still going to be my PS4. PS4 Pro, to be specific. Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro, to be even more specific.
So was Kingdom Hearts... Kingdom Hearts was probably cross-compatible, so you could play it on your PS5.
Right.
But there was not a PS5
there
downloadable
wasn't.
patch that made it more presentable.
I wish there was. I mean, I played Melody of Memory first on the PS5 when I got it.
I just hit my mic and made a super weird face. I'm sorry.
But, I mean, it was beautiful on the PS5. Again, though, but I don't think... I said this in our video with the PS5. I don't think I needed a PS5 in 2020. I didn't need that.
Agreed.
I think I could have made it through all of 2020 without a PS5 and been really happy. And I still play my PS4 Pro to this day, and it's my go-to. It's just, I guess, the game selection, what I'm used to, what I'm comfortable with, it's still going to be that PS4.
I had a question for you earlier that I might as well ask now. Did you ever receive your adapter?
Oh, for the PSVR. I did.
Excellent.
And we have hooked it up. We've hooked up our VR to the PS5.
Awesome.
And I wouldn't say it's much of a difference. I don't think it's like anything crazy, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's more convenient. It's nice to have. Yeah, I'm happy I got it. I'm happy they made that a thing. I hope they make like a new VR too for the PS5, honestly. I'm weird. I love VR.
Well, they definitely messed up.
Yeah.
Because I received 2 adapters for the PSVR.
Oh, no way!
And I only submitted 1 form. So I don't know what they did. But I have 2 PSVR adapters now.
That's good, though.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can always have it for someone.
Now, if Sony could just allow me to hook up my external hard drives like they promised from the beginning, we'd be on a whole different page right now.
I think that's why PS5 couldn't be, like, system of the year for me. It's like there just wasn't enough there yet. Maybe next year. Maybe next year they'll have, like, the whole setup. Everything will be more, like, solidified. But for now, it's just too new. It's too,
Kingdom Hearts Game of the Year.
Kingdom
System
Hearts
of the Year. PS4. Game of the Year.
Yep.
System of the Year.
System of the Year, yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. And you? Game of the Year? All in all?
Again, this is like a subject where I'm torn. Last of Us 2. Story of the Year. I'm going to say fuck it for one reason. I'm going to get real with you all. Last of Us 2 is my Game of the Year. It surprised me, wasn't prepared. I avoided spoilers. I went out of my way to avoid spoilers.
Right.
Last of Us 2 is like, I don't understand how people have a problem with that game.
I don't either.
It fucking confuses the shit out of me. First of all.
Wait, why?
The gameplay is better than The Last of Us 1.
Yes.
I enjoy The Last of Us 2 more, but that was more of like...
Like excitement?
It was more of like what I expected. Where The Last of Us 2 was like, you don't expect any of this. This is what you're getting. Ori's problem is the story of 2 was too similar to me to the story of 1. Even though they were different subjects, they had the same vibe at the end of the day.
It wasn't something different.
The story didn't hit the same way. The gameplay, like I said, was, if not as good, better in 2. Somehow they got the fucking gameplay even better.
And that's important. That is important.
But it was just like, I feel like these beats are the same, where The Last of Us 2 was like, this is not the same. This is clearly not the same. There's a lot more anger and darkness in The Last of Us 2, which doesn't have to be in a game. But I always enjoy that when it is, because there's so many things, like even in The Last of Us Part 1, where it's like, oh, that makes sense. Like, it's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, when The Last of Us 2 ends, you're like,
what?
You're like,
is it over?
Is this what I wanted to happen?
Yes. Am I happy? Is this a good ending?
But that's also what, like, the best movies do to you.
Right. Like, you're questioning it after the fact. Like, it's over and you're still here like, what?
Like, I know you're not a huge Star Wars fan, but when The Empire Strikes Back ends, you're like, this is so good that I don't know how to take this. Like, it's not. It is not a good outcome.
Oh, I love those games.
It is not a good outcome, but it's also like, I understand,
dude,
why it's like that.
Yeah.
and there's very few video games that do that.
Right.
Like, even lesser than movies. Like,
yes. I think it's because it feels like you're the one that made those decisions, and you're the one that was there. But you're not. You're not. It makes you feel like you are, but you're not.
It's some next level shit.
Yeah, and it's like, oh man, I've had those days where I've played a game and I've laid on my bed and I'm just like, what do I do now? Like, I've got to process that for a good, like, 2 hours.
Right. And how many games can you say? You could count on one hand.
Right, absolutely.
How many games will fucking do that to you?
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, Ori wasn't one of those games. As much as the gameplay is, like,
beautiful,
amazing. The Last of Us 2 is probably my game of the year.
It hits that. I agree.
So you should all go out and play that.
Yes.
My favorite system for the year.
Ooh, yes.
There's going to be a huge bias right now to what I just said, probably.
It's going to be Xbox.
It's PS5.
Oh. Wow. All right. Why?
When you play Astro's Playroom and you that controller. Look, Xbox Series X feels like an evolution, to Xbox One X, which is what I had before. Yeah. It feels like the game plays better, it loads faster, it's beautiful, it's great.
It's revamped, it's nicer.
Yes. The controller, very similar, some slight upgrades. PS5 was like, we're going to make one of the best controllers you've ever felt in your entire life, and we're going to make you understand why you love it, specifically by using Astro's Playroom as a way of you understanding. Yeah,
you're going to love this. Controller. Yeah.
So that alone was like, I need as many games for this. Yeah, as I
hope
get.
They come out with more too. That would be great.
I understand developers are going to make games for PS4 because there's like 100 million PlayStation forums like in the
out
ether
there.
Right now.
Yeah, people are already using it.
The PS5 controller is some next level shit.
It is, and it's different. Even just just having it in my house. I'm like, it's a whole other experience.
I love
having
Xbox,
that system.
It's the Xbox to me is just like a next step. It's like it's great, it's cool.
Yeah.
Game Pass is fucking amazing. There's awesome stuff in there, but there's not a line drawn in the sand where it's like, this is different.
You're right.
It's like, this is better, but PlayStation was like,
here's a new system.
This is different.
It's new. It's brand new.
So PS5 was my favorite system just because of Astro's Playroom, and really for no other reason other than that. I've played other PS5 games and nothing stood out as much as Astro's Playroom, so I hope I hope that PlayStation can continue making games to that level that made me as interested in Astro.
They need to use that controller to their advantage. That's what's gonna bring it in for sure.
Jenny, is there anything else we want to cover for 2020 before our next episode? Who knows when it's going to be?
Right, for real.
February. Could be March.
Oh, don't say that.
We have a lot of stuff we're doing right now.
Yeah, we do.
Which we're not going to talk about today.
So much happening.
But that's all in the future.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words for 2020?
It was a good year. That's all I have to say. It was a good year. It was a great year for video games to really get appreciated, even by people that don't usually play video games. I think a lot of new gamers were born this year.
Hear, hear. and I say a good fuck you to 2019, where there was very few games I loved.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Control, but also fuck you to Control for in 2020 offering a next-gen upgrade for a paid price where I already bought your fucking game. So thank you, Control, for making an amazing game, and then fuck you for Control for trying to charge me more, which I won't pay.
Thank you, but
yourself.
not. Yeah.
We hope that you enjoy this format of the new show. It went much longer?
And...
Oh boy, it went much longer than normal. But I will cut this down and segment it into pieces for you guys on YouTube. For you audio listeners, enjoy the whole podcast.
Right? Yes, hello.
Because that's most certainly happening. Maybe I'll give the whole thing on YouTube. I don't know.
I'm about it. Yeah, I'm about it. Yeah.
But in the future, we may or may not do video. We don't know. Everything's kind of going back and forth.
We're trying new things.
We are video fluid.
It's a new year. It's a new year. 2021.
But we hope you enjoy this segment.
Yes.
We did everything off the cup. We only made headlines, which is not something we normally do. We talk usually from a more scripted aspect.
This is more real. This felt more personal.
Even though it went long, I enjoyed it much more.
Me too. I agree. This is a more real way to talk about games.
Juan, we hope you enjoyed this for your support on Patreon, which you guys can also do. Please support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/nerdenthusiast. You guys can go support us on there. You can get access to exclusive videos from us every month, gaming, poker, and wrestling. You can follow us at Nerdenthusiast on Twitter,
Facebook, the gram,
and the talk.
And the talk. And the ticking and the talk.
TikTok. It's been a while since we made a TikTok. We have to do another TikTok.
We are going to have to make another TikTok.
It's been a while. We'll get you guys on there. Don't
we
you
TikTok
worry.
masters over here. You got to check it out.
You follow us and you'll enjoy it at some point.
Yes. You won't be disappointed.
Y'all can write in with questions. Nerdenthusiastgaming@gmail.com. That's also where you can find Jenny.
Hey, that's me.
Nerdenthusiastgaming@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions for Jenny specifically, we may or may not include them in the show.
Yeah, send them there.
You can follow myself as I die.
Corona.
Oh, no. No. I've been cursed. It's like Castlevania.
One cough, coronavirus.
At From NJ to CA. Over on Twitter if you want to follow my personal account. At Nerdenthusiast over on Twitter if you want to follow the channel. Again, we cover games, poker, wrestling, more things to come in the future. You guys will see more about that soon. Thank you for following, listening, watching, all that stuff you guys do. Please support us on Patreon. Jenny.
Oh.
Thank you for doing the show with us today.
Of course. This one was fun.
This was fucking great.
This one was good.
I kind of like doing the audio only.
Yes.
I feel like we get crazier and shit, not doing as much as scripted stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments.
Please.
YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Let us know what you guys think about the show. Thank you so much. And we will see you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometime
soon. Yeah, we'll see you.
Maybe February, March.
Yeah,
we'll see you again.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.